So welcome everybody, good morning. Welcome to Elevensies with Lisa and Anton, the late morning show. And as if by magic, I see my computer bursting into life before me, which is a reassuring thought. Unlike yesterday where everybody could see us, but I couldn't see anybody seeing us. I have no idea what the hell was going on yesterday. It was like, Mercury was in full force of its retrogradeness. Gosh, there were lots of things that were frustrating yesterday. But you live, drive, and survive, whatever the word is, don't you? Just keep going. Just keep going. So there you go. It looks like it worked, and it looks like we're online, and it looks like you've got all sorts of...
I've got all sorts of crazy distractions going on. It's all wonderful.
You must
Good
focus.
morning,
You must focus. Just for a few minutes. I know you're as busy as all get out, but we have got this show to do, you know?
Yes, I do know. I'm trying.
And today is Tarot Talk Tuesday.
Tarot Talk
Tuesday.
Wendy.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for saying hello. It's always nice to know things
Still
are
in
working.
the emotional throes of the Pisces full moon.
Wasn't she beautiful last night? Gorgeous clear evening.
Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. I went and spent some time communing with our beautiful moon. I like to do that. If our neighbours were looking at me, they'd probably think I'm completely...
Good morning, Anita.
Certifiable.
Certifiable.
But that's true.
That's what the neighbor behind us, when we moved into the 180, when we moved in, her father said to her, Cora, look, what are they doing out there looking at the moon? She said, well, they're looking at the moon.
It's about the size of it, really. I mean, that's factually correct. There is some focus there on the beautiful full moon. So that's lovely. Isn't it nice? Tell your friends. So, yes. Now what? Tarot Talk Tuesday.
Tarot Talk Tuesday. So
we pull
a card ahead of time for Tarot Talk Tuesday to make sure we haven't already talked about this card.
We're getting down them now. Yes,
right?
This is where we work through the whole meaning of every card in the deck.
Today's card is the Queen of Cups.
Queen of Cups. Dun, dun, dun.
Now, cups are the water signs. And the Queen of Cups represents Scorpio.
Fixed water.
All right, fixed water, yeah. So what I usually say about the water signs are Cancer is the beautiful crystal clear lake. You can walk out up to your neck and you can look down and you can see the details of your toe ring in the beautiful crystal clear lake. That's Cancer. Pisces is the river, that kind of water, where sometimes it can be a little trickly brook that kind of almost sounds like words, and other times it could be a raging torrent that breaks its banks. Now, Scorpio is the ocean. Depths beyond what we can know.
Distracted.
All right. So we don't know what's deep down in Scorpio. So when you get this card in a reading, it's kind of trying to show you need to look closer. You need to examine things, especially the card that she's looking towards gives you a clue about the depth of something that needs to be looked at. So you can see she's paying really close attention to detail, right? She's got her cup, her emotions, and she's holding it right up to her face for examination. Now there are two angels on this cup, those little black feathered things on each side. But they are dark angels, meaning that they wish to reveal to her the depths of her soul, her shadow self. Because we need to understand, good morning, Dottie, that Scorpio is an 8th house energy. The depths of the soul, the psyche, the hidden, the occult, the esoteric, the things that we have to dig a little deeper into in order to figure it out. This card could also be the Scorpio time of year, which is the end of October to the middle of November. And it doesn't mean, the next thing that I tell you doesn't mean that it only applies to Scorpio. So the things that I've said so far attention to detail, attention to the shadow self, attention to the dark side, attention to the occult, the hidden, the esoteric, the psychic. All of those things apply to Scorpio, which apply to this card. But in a reading, its meaning could be about not falling into a deception, right? So again, the ocean, we don't know what's down there. So there's a story about the scorpion and the turtle, right? So the scorpion and the turtle on the banks of the river. And the turtle is about to swim across, and the scorpion says, hey, I'm too small, the current's too large, can you give me a ride? And the turtle says, are you kidding? You're a Scorpio. A scorpion, sorry. You'll bite me in the neck and we'll drown. Well, why would I do that? If I bite you in the neck, what would be the point of me asking you for safety and in the travel? Because I could just go myself and drown. So, well, that sounds logical. Okay, get on. So they're out in the middle of the river, and the scorpion stings the turtle in the neck. And the turtle says, what the hell? You stung me in the neck. It's all your fault. We're going to drown. And the scorpion says, no, it's all your fault. You knew I was a scorpion when you let me get on your back. Mm-hmm. So in a reading, it really is about attention to detail, not allowing yourself to be deceived. And again, the situation at hand is the card that the queen is looking at. All right? That's my take on it.
Don't you paint the Scorpios in such a beautiful light?
No. I said there's a separation between the occult, the dark, understanding shadow, and all the things I said in the beginning, and the meaning of the card. Any of these court cards can be a time frame.
Right.
They can be about a particular sign.
Right.
Or they can be the understanding of what that sign represents. Those are three distinctions.
Yeah. Definitely for me, fix water, Scorpio. I mean, you even look at her dress is become the water. It flows in seamlessly as you do. And yes, it's interesting. Definitely, I mean, Scorpios are very alluring creatures without doubt, but they can be quite dangerous. They can be. They're very much, as Lisa says, representative of the sea, you know. What lies beneath, you'll never know. You'll never know. They can be incredibly passionate creatures, without doubt. They can be almost serial monogamists, I think. You know, they're like almost Pisces on crack, if that makes sense. You know,
Scorpios are Pisces on crack, in a sense, yes.
Such intense emotions. I mean,
well, you have the Cancers who announce the change.
Yeah.
Right? They said the seasons are changing. They announced the change.
Mm.
You have the Pisces who, they rule the house of self-endure.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
so,
I'll just let it all dash against the rocks then.
But then Scorpio is fixed. Scorpio says, this is the way. My way or the highway, Jack.
Water will wear a hole through a stone.
Absolutely.
Believe me. So never underestimate the power of hydraulic pressure, as the saying goes. And yeah, interesting. Scorpios can sometimes not be desperately forthcoming as well. They have this deep sort of relationship, I think, with the occult. That which is hidden, that which is buried. We always, that story about Scorpio. Scorpio is rough. Well, Pam, just saying, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
But it's true, right? So we all come up against a situation or person or a problem that we instinctively know how to handle, right? Green part of heart chakra. We know what's best. Mm-hmm. Nope, I'm not letting you get on me because you're going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get talked out of it, right? Something happens within the situation to say, maybe. And then what happens? Death. That's what happens.
Well, what is it? A con man, you understand, is a confidence trickster. That's where the name comes from. And the unfortunate thing is, they said, but he's so nice, but she's so nice. Of course they're bloody nice. They're a con man.
No, Scorpio moon is all about holding grudges.
Oh, hell yes. Yes,
Scorpio moon is the person that you never want to cross, because if you do, they will never forget it.
No, they'll get even on their deathbed.
And when you least expect it, expect it. Sorry about that. I have several friends with
Scorpio moons. Yes, we know them well. But yeah, it's understand, like every sign has its for and against. There are two sides to a coin. It doesn't mean one side is worse than the other. There's a time when it's very appropriate to have that passion. There's a time when it's very appropriate to be so driven to uncover the deepest, darkest secrets. There is a time for that. So there's a wonderful gift to the Scorpio energy. But it can be quite scary. But so can the occult, because typically we're going inside. We're discovering parts of ourselves. It's very much about shadow work, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's very much about shadow work and that which disturbs you about yourself.
Right. If something jars you, that's what you should focus on.
Hell yeah. That's what Skip, bless him, told me, when I was going, well, we were, because oddly enough, we were talking about the tarot, and we were comparing the tarot to the tree of life and all that good stuff. And I was saying, the Thoth deck for me, or the Tahote deck, however you like to pronounce it, I said, I don't know, it jars me. And he said, I said, then you should spend time with that. Mm-hmm. It's important. If something jars you, if something unsettles you inside, like that story of the scorpion there, if you find that unsettling, that's something we need to visit. We as human beings, every one of us is a mere heartbeat away from an incredible act of love, of magnanimous, altruistic gesture, or the nastiest, meanest, horrible, serial killer. We all have that capability within us.
Just depends on what we nurture.
It is. We all have that capability. And learning to manage those things, learning to manage those
effectively. Oh, good morning, Dottie, Tina, and Savannah.
Lots of people joining us. Learning to control those potentially conflicting things. But you understand our shadow side is the other side of our coin. You can't separate yourself from it. You can't be half a coin, You can't be a coin with just one side, You have to have a shadow side. And all too often, I think specifically for more spiritual people, that they tend to compartmentalize that. Is that the word I'm trying to say? They try to shove it away. If there's something bothers them, they want to divorce themselves from it, or push it down, or repress it, or suppress it in some way. And this particularly can be the case with things like fears and anxieties,
Well, and how are you going to conquer them? If you shove them away. If
you tell it to shut up all the time, it's going to shout even louder. So learning to embrace all of you. It's like I always say, if you've got a race to run and you have an injured knee, hacking your leg off isn't going to help you run faster. You've really got to learn to embrace all of you, especially the parts that disturb you. And there are some disturbing traits lying beneath, There are some horrors beneath the waves, It's the sea can be beautiful and romantic, but it can also be deadly.
And it's full of poison right now.
Oh, well, yeah, and plastic bags, Yeah. Anyway, sorry, won't go.
All right.
So yeah, everything Lisa said, there's very little I can add. I think she's done a wonderful job to it.
Well, you can tell us, what are these things?
What are these things? I don't know. What are these things? These little undines. These little.
They're like cherubs.
They're like
of the sea,
like nymph-like creatures, but they're nymphs of water.
Yeah, you might be in oceans, lakes, and seas.
Oh, yeah, we actually saw a few of those in our stream at the cottage at Old Hall.
Little
Remember?
Lights, yeah.
Little blue lights.
They weren't just glowworms. They were fairy.
Glowworms don't swim up and down rivers, do they? And there's not a lot of phosphorescent wildlife in Wales in a stream, let me assure you of that. So yeah, we've seen some weird stuff, believe me. But it's there, it's all on our periphery. I mean, you ever noticed the way that cats, speaking of the occult, cats. Cats, yes. Cats were revered by the Egyptians because they were protectors of humans from the dark and nasties in other. And have you ever noticed cats can be staring intently at something above or behind you? And you're like, what do you see? What is it you see? Yeah, so we've a very limited wavelength we can see with our eyes. So cats can definitely see outside of our range of visibility. And just because we can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Just because we can't measure it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, For the longest time, it was just the gods setting fire to the land with a flash of lightning, wasn't it? We didn't understand that it's an electrostatic discharge, and it's all about
All right. Well, I think
electricity.
we've kind of dabbled off the
Have we?
meaning
We
of
wandered
the
off.
card now, dear.
We wandered off. No, but it is, understanding is key for Scorpio. Scorpios have to dig and uncover those deepest, darkest secrets.
All right.
They're driven to do it. So, embrace your Scorpio if you want a wild ride with the occult, definitely. So what are we going to do now?
We're going to
What are we
pull
gonna
card
do
of the
now?
day.
We haven't talked for very long.
Well, look, we've got
It
a
doesn't
lot
matter.
of ground to cover today.
Yeah, but we have a responsibility here.
All right, 15 minutes on one card. We have spent 15 minutes.
Yeah, we said we'd do that.
And now we're going to ramble about card of the day for
Are we?
probably another 10
You
minutes.
think we're going to ramble?
And then I'm going to go to work and get everything needs doing
She
done.
says I ramble. Do you think I ramble,
Good
honestly?
God.
Let's hear some... This is a lovely card, by the way. This is a card indicating marital bliss.
Whoa, baby, you're a nag.
That's about the size of it. That's about the bloody size of it. Oh, I love it. I love it. This really is the culmination of God's promise of a happy marriage and all that wonderful good
And
stuff.
positive relationships.
Yeah, very positive.
With children and a happy home and...
A house on a hill with a river running past. Who'd have thunk it? All the good stuff. So this is good, And if you work and learn to communicate in a relationship, you get a good relationship. And that's what it's about. It's about communication. Internalization, not good, Leaving things unsaid, not good. Also just tearing into somebody over what you perceive to be their mistake, not necessarily good, We just got to learn the better way. And when everybody stands shoulder to shoulder and works together, much good happens.
Mm-hmm.
What's your reading for today?
My reading for you, or for us, for everyone, for this card for today, which is a Tuesday, a day ruled by Mars, is to lift up your voice to the promises being made, right? So here's this rainbow, which is a promise from the heavens, or a promise from deity. So reach your hands up in hope that that promise can come to fruition. Meaning, do something today, speak out today, work today towards achieving something that is promised, right? Whether it's a promise that you have made or a promise that you feel has been made to you, bring it on home. Today is the day to bring it home, bring it to fruition, and use that Pisces full moon energy to be creative and have a tempered emotion about what you're working on.
And don't be surprised if I split like light refracted. Don't get me wrong. No, it is. It really is. When our focus is on what's right and what's good, and we're looking at the beautiful rainbow in the sky, which ostensibly is a promise that that God will never flood the world again, and that we should
No, next time it's going to be by fire, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, actually, just so you know, there's a little hole in that mythology because you can only actually see a rainbow if it's raining.
No, it's a rainbow when it stopped raining, isn't it?
No, it's got to be raining, and the sun's got to be at a particular angle for you to be able to see a rainbow. So you'll likely see them late afternoon, early evening, or sometimes in the morning. Highly unlikely when the sun is high in the sky. Although I have the luxury of seeing a rainbow from an aeroplane, which forms a complete circle. So there.
Oh.
Did you know that? Yeah. So they're kind of.
But I thought the Earth was flat.
Well, there's a thought, isn't it? Can't be, otherwise the cats would have knocked everything off by now.
All right, so
there you go.
Go do your thing today.
Be kind. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. And with a little bit of kindness and understanding and focus on what's right, the world becomes better for everybody. Think maybe just a little bit beyond yourself. That's, I think, sage advice for everybody. Think beyond yourself. It's not just about you, You don't live in isolation. You may be the center of your own universe, and for all we know, the Earth is the center of the universe because everything goes around us. Not quite the case when you get a bit more perspective. So sometimes, look beyond yourself, gain a clearer perspective. And I think this is a great, great card, and it's it is indeed a promise of an extraordinarily good day good life, good everything.
So mote it be.
So mote it be. So there you go. What else can we tell you? Thank you so much for joining us today. It's, as always, a pleasure. And the technology largely worked today, which is good, which is largely good. Yes, so...
so off to the races.
Off to the races.
Don't know if we have any incoming yet today.
I have no idea.
So I'm not sure whether we'll have a box opening or not.
I have no idea.
But our mission is to get ready for Alban Elvid on Friday.
Our mission, if we choose to accept it. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. All right, well, thank you so much for watching us. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Do please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends all about us, all right? And yes, we'll see you later.
See you
Either
later
later today, or if not, we'll see you tomorrow for Elevensies.